What shocking move are Jungkook and Taehyung secretly preparing? Something so bold it's making HYBE panic and leaving ARMY in disbelief. Before we dive into the full explosive story, make sure to like, comment your theories, and subscribe for more breaking updates, because what you're about to read may change everything you thought you knew. What if everything you thought you knew about BTS's future was only the surface of a much larger, more dangerous storm? What if Jungkook and Taehyung were quietly arranging something so audacious, so unfiltered, and so emotionally charged that even HYBE, known for its iron control and strategic calm, has begun to tremble beneath the weight of what is coming? What if the biggest surprise in BTS history wasn't a comeback, wasn't a reunion, but a secret pact between two of its most influential members? One built on loyalty, frustration, ambition, and a desire to reclaim the narrative of their own lives. And what if ARMY, stunned, breathless, and emotionally torn, is about to witness the most shocking twist since BTS first shook the world? The murmurs began as whispers. Strange movements, obscure hints, odd timing choices, suddenly synchronized decisions between Jungkook and Taehyung that nobody could quite explain. At first, fans brushed them aside as coincidences, the kind of random timing that happens naturally in the lives of megastars. But then the pattern sharpened. The signals grew clearer. The energy between the two men shifted, became more intentional, more rebellious, more dangerously aligned. What was originally speculation soon felt like a countdown, a slow and inevitable approach toward something big, something that HYBE, according to insiders, has been trying to contain before it spirals far beyond the boundaries of corporate control. The heart of the storm begins with Jungkook, the golden magne whose rise in solo popularity has been nothing short of explosive. With a voice that dominates charts, charisma that hypnotizes audiences, and a work ethic bordering on superhuman, Jungkook has become more than an idol. He's a phenomenon, a force no label can fully restrain. And yet, beneath all the success, whispers suggest that Jungkook has been carrying a frustration that has grown quietly over time. It is not anger, not rebellion for the sake of chaos, but something deeper. A desire for creative freedom, emotional honesty, and ownership over his identity. Taehyung, equally magnetic, equally loved, stands on a parallel path filled with artistry, individuality, and a burning desire to shape the world through his own lens. V's sensitivity, creativity, and unpredictability have always set him apart, making him not only a lyrical figure, but also an emotional beacon for ARMY. There is a certain electricity around him, an energy that HYBE monitors closely, aware that Taehyung is a wild card, a person capable of turning the industry upside down with a single decision. When these two forces begin to move in sync, the world pays attention. What exactly are Jungkook and Taehyung planning? Why is HYBE showing signs of unease? What has made ARMY gasp, debate, cry, and speculate with such intensity? To understand the shockwave, we must go back to the first clue. A private meeting that allegedly took place after schedules had ended, well past midnight, when most staff had already gone home. Jungkook and Taehyung were seen leaving the same building within minutes of each other, their expressions unreadable, their steps quick, their energy heavy with intention. Normally, the two meeting wouldn't raise alarms. They are close friends, brothers, members of the same legendary group. But the timing felt unusual, the secrecy strange, and the tension unmistakable. Fans didn't notice at first. The clip circulated quietly, buried among millions of other BTS videos. But a sharp-eyed ARMY member posted it with a chilling caption. "Something is happening. Look closely." The comments section erupted. Suddenly, every shared look, every synchronized post, every cryptic message from the two men became suspect. Taehyung's sudden late-night writing sessions, Jungkook's unexpected cancellations, their simultaneous disappearing acts from social media, their sudden silence, their sudden noise. All of it began to look intentional, calculated, part of a larger and more dangerous blueprint. The next clue came when Jungkook posted what seemed like a harmless message, but ARMY noticed something eerie. A phrase that echoed Taehyung's words from earlier in the week. Not just similar, a perfect mirror. The online world exploded with theories. Some said it was a coincidence. Others insisted it was a code, a confirmation, a promise being sent publicly despite the risks. It didn't help that only hours later, Taehyung posted another message that seemed to respond directly to Jungkook's, like two halves of a secret conversation unfolding in front of millions. But what exactly were they talking about? A rumor began circulating that Jungkook and Taehyung were planning something so bold it bypassed HYBE entirely. Something HYBE would never approve. Something that could redefine their futures forever. Some claimed it was a joint creative project outside company boundaries. Some whispered it was a contract-related plan. Others speculated it was a personal decision, one that could shock the industry for years to come. Through every theory, one thing remained constant. The emotional weight in the air was impossible to ignore. Insiders began hinting that HYBE executives had held multiple emergency discussions, attempting to determine the severity of the situation. Their greatest fear was not simply losing control but losing the narrative, because once Jungkook and Taehyung moved together, nobody, not even a billion-dollar company, can predict the outcome. The two are explosive on their own, but together they are a storm. A beautiful storm, but a storm nonetheless. Soon, leaks claimed that HYBE attempted to intervene quietly, urging both idols to slow down, reconsider, or at least postpone the idea. But those close to the pair reported something surprising. Instead of backing down, Jungkook and Taehyung seemed more determined than ever. Their resolve hardened, their secrecy intensified, and their steps grew bolder. The heart of the decision is something raw and deeply emotional. The desire to protect each other. The bond between Jungkook and Taehyung is not just friendship. It's survival, it's history, it's brotherhood forged under pressure, fame, and years of shared struggle. Whatever they are planning it together, not out of rebellion but out of loyalty and love. To HYBE, this is dangerous. To ARMY, it is breathtaking. And the shock continues. Fans noticed that both Jungkook and Taehyung began using similar symbolism in their posts. Matching timestamps, matching colors, matching phrases. It felt like they were telling a story beneath the surface, one that only the most attentive could decode. Every little detail became a clue, every silence became a warning, every post became a breadcrumb leading toward a future nobody could predict. As ARMY pieced the clues together, the reaction became a storm of emotions: fear, excitement, confusion, pride, heartbreak, curiosity. Some fans cried, worried for the future. Some were thrilled, ready for a revolution. Some begged HYBE to step back. Others begged Jungkook and Taehyung to be careful. And somewhere in the middle, the truth sat quietly, still hidden, still burning with potential. So what is the truth? The most persistent theory suggests that Jungkook and Taehyung are preparing a completely independent collaboration. One with creative freedom, raw honesty, and emotional depth that no label could ever filter or restrict. Something that expresses who they truly are, not who the industry wants them to be. Something powerful enough to shake the foundations of the K-pop system itself. Another theory claims they are preparing a personal documentary, one that reveals the struggles, the pressures, the fears, the moments of loneliness and courage that they've kept hidden from the public. A project so intimate that HYBE fears the public backlash it might create. A project that could expose truths never before spoken. Then there is the third, most explosive theory, that Jungkook and Taehyung have made a pact to take full control of their futures after the end of military service, with or without HYBE's approval. A pact that could affect contracts, schedules, releases, and the entire future of BTS as a group. Not because they want to break apart, but because they want freedom, true freedom, not symbolic freedom. Whatever the truth is, one fact remains: HYBE is nervous. ARMY is stunned. The world is watching. And Jungkook and Taehyung are silent, which only makes everything more intense. The story deepens further when you consider the emotional context. Both men have carried immense pressure for years. Creative expectations, public scrutiny, loneliness, exhaustion, and the constant weight of trying to be perfect for millions.